Well, it's an improvement. You know, as we said at the start of November, each game we want to get a little bit better. And we were definitely better than the Argentina game. I thought we played with a lot of purpose today. We knew exactly how we wanted to play. And as I said in the roundup after Argentina, the fault that we didn't play like that against Argentina was my poor coaching. So this week it's not my poor coaching. It's a good play from the players. I thought the players have been outstanding. You know, the way they've applied themselves. And today we played with a lot of really good purpose.
On Freddie Stewart, he seemed to be the heart of a lot of your best man.
Yeah, no, you know, you consider that's his 15th test. You know, him and Marcus have come up through there. Only 15 tests in their career. Both of them keep growing. And Freddie particularly today was got a lot of free ball, you know, which enabled him to run a little bit more than he usually does. But his kick-catch game was fantastic.
In terms of Freddie, how he's building, he already seems so secure. He sort of gives off a lot of confidence, doesn't he? For someone who's obviously so young into his success career, that must be very pleasing.
Yeah, some players come through. You know, Owen was one that they're experienced right from the start, and other players tend to take longer to mature, and you never really know how long it's going to take, but he's got a good head on him. He doesn't get too ahead of himself. You know, the only flashiness we've seen with him, he's got this ridiculous little moustache at the moment. So I think we're going to have to get rid of that for him.
Owen, you appeared to be limping at one stage after sliding back on that ball. Is everything okay with your leg?
Yeah, fine. I just got stood on and got a little bit of cramp. Completely fine.
You talked about the overthinking during the week. Was this a step in the right direction in terms of playing more freedom?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well, definitely. It felt more like us. It felt more like what we were capable of, and we're not there. We're not there yet. I think there's a few things to tidy up, but in terms of intent, in terms of getting the best out of ourselves, I thought that was miles better today.
I mean, what's your message to the guys about next week and your Blacks? How many levels up do you need to get to beat them?
Oh, we'll see where we can take it. We've had a short turnaround this week, and we've had a big shift in attitude, and we've got 7 days together now to see how much we can get better, see how closer we can get, see how tighter we can become as a team, push our rugby a bit, and make sure we turn up with the right attitude again.
Have you ever been given a sword before?
No, I've not. No.
Where are you going to put it?
I don't know, to be honest. Just got it. I've no idea.
Can I ask you about Freddie as well? Freddie's still there. Have you seen a guy like that come so quickly onto the test stage and look so secure?
I can't think off the top of my head, but no, I can only speak of Freddie himself and how good he is around the place, how good he is in training, how much he wants to get better, how honest and hard-working he is as a young lad, and he's obviously got some special talent with a lot of his stuff. Some because of his aerial stuff. Some other stuff probably goes unnoticed as well. And you see him today breaking tackles and setting up tries. I thought that's a big part of his game as well.
Eddie, the All Blacks don't come to Twickenham very often. How exciting a challenge is that for the team? Have you mentioned it yet, or have you?
Look, we had a quick chat after the game, and it's an opportunity to play against one of the giants of world rugby. They're in a redevelopment period of their game. They're about to play Scotland, I think. So we'll have a look at it. Or no, tomorrow, isn't it? We'll see them play against Scotland tomorrow, and then have a chat about how we play against them. But yeah, it's a great opportunity. For an England player, it's a massive opportunity. You look at the history of the sport. So the game's been going for 150 years, and England's won 22% of tests against New Zealand. So there's a narrative about the game that says that England can't beat New Zealand. And I think, 2019 World Cup, we showed that if you got the right attitude, you've got the right game plan, then that history can be broken. So we've got a great opportunity this week, or this coming week, to break history again. And we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Will you be tapping into that 2019 game at all?
Well, there'll be certain things that we did well in that game will be important in the next game. There's certain things that we did well in that game that won't be important because their team has changed. They've got a different coach, so they're playing a slightly different style of rugby than they used to. But certainly, the guys who played in that game, guys like Owen and Mako and Billy and Jamie George, are going to be Murrow are going to be important in reinforcing to the players that it's not mission impossible. That if we go after them, then they're there for the taking, and we're going to go after them.
I think you said on telly that you really said that Marcus and Owen are going to play together again. Have you set that strategy in motion for the autumn now?
Well, that was with Dylan and Matt Giddo. That was like drinking at the bar. Two old players. But look, we think Marcus and Owen can be really good together. But like any strategy, the strategy's got to keep having results. And there's no reason why they shouldn't continue being that. But we don't get a team sheet and we put those two names in ink that you can't rub out. So yes, we really like it, but there's always changes you need to make, and we need to be flexible and adaptable, and we will be. So this obsession with saying these two need to be 10 and 12 is not the way we really think. You guys can think like that. I'm sure Clive Woodward's got thoughts on it, so maybe you can ask him. He'll be able to give you some better information than I can.
Are you pleased with the way the attack clicked today?
I'm pleased with the way our running and kicking game gave us opportunities to move the ball. Again, they're a handy team, Japan. It goes 7 points to the All Blacks. So I thought, we were able to get on the front foot through our running and kicking, and then we were able to move the ball in the space, and we probably missed 20 points. Conservatively, we missed 20 points out there.
Thanks. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on, Jamie. Last one for the English section. Thanks.
For both of you, Eddie, maybe you can answer it first. I appreciate it's match day, so you need to have your game face on and be focused. But did you manage to catch the women this morning?
Definitely watched bits and pieces of it. World Cup finals, as we know, from experience, are tricky games. And that was always going to be a tough game for them. 30 games on the trot, playing against New Zealand at Eden Park. And again, it's one of those stories in who beats New Zealand at Eden Park. You probably have to go to Mars to find someone. And then they get a red card in the first 20 minutes. And again, if you spoke about a game 10 years ago and you had a red card, you immediately think you can't win that game. But now it's just completely different because, they're as common as when you go out in the street and you see electric charges for cars. They're there all the time, and you've got to be able to cope with it. But you feel for the team. Any team that gets the World Cup final get beaten, you feel for them. And particularly the record they had but they've been great ambassadors for the sport. The way they've inspired young girls to play rugby. In between the main job I have, I go out to the rugby clubs, and the number of girls is just increasing all the time. So they've done a fantastic job to grow rugby, and they should be proud of that.
Owen, yourself?
Yeah, well, a lot of it's already been said there, but I mean, regardless of the result, I think we're massively proud of what they've done over the past few weeks, and there's been a lot of inspiration that's been had over here because of them. So no matter of the result, we're massively proud.
Thanks. We will now move to the Japanese section. Koze, are you going to join us on the stage, please? Thank you. Who will help with translation? Thank you very much. So we invite our Japanese colleagues to ask any questions now of Eddie or Owen. Thank you.
共同ニュースの公開です。4年前もジャパン対戦しましたけど、そこから点差は開いて変わりましたけど、今日のジャパンをどういうふうに彼らの進化とか成長とか、もしくはちょっと停滞しているとか、どういうふうに感じましたか。
It's been 4 years since you played Japan, and also what's your impression? What improved? What didn't improve? And obviously, the scores are different this time.
Well, first of all, you just got to look at the selection. The selection's completely different. 2018, they still had a fairly settled team. That was on the back of 2015. A lot of senior, experienced players, and now the team is very young. You've only got who's left Inagaki, Leach, and Matsushima from that 2015 side. And you've got a lot of young guys coming through who are 10 or 15 caps. So a much less experienced team, and they probably hadn't experienced the sort of rugby that was played against them today, and it takes some time to adjust to that. So they'll be stronger for it.
そうですね、チームのその経験が多分今回のチームは若いというところが特徴だと思うんですね。多分2019年振り返ってもそうですけども、2015年でもそうですけど、当時は経験の多いプレイヤーがいたということだと思います。で今回稲垣、松島でもそうですけども、やはり経験を積んでいくことで変わっていくと思います。で今日のラグビー、今日の試合からも多分学んでいくことがあると思いますけども、経験って積まなければいけないので、時間がやはりちょっとかかるんではないかなというのは印象です。
Thank you.
オールブラックスに迫ったチームっていうのは今日対戦する前はちょっと脅威に感じられてました。
彼ら、Did you feel kind of threatened a little bit before the match about Japan?
ありません。
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
日経新聞の谷口です。今日これだけ大差で勝ったことで1年後のワールドカップに向けてすごい自信を持って戦えるんじゃないでしょうか。
So obviously the result today, you've got great scores, so I'm pretty sure you are very confident towards the next World Cup.
We don't really think like that. That's a game in itself today against the Japan team. We had a team in. It's a one-off game. You learn, maybe we both learn a little bit about each strategy of each team, but as we know, if you just look at that Women's World Cup final, in autumn, was it? Autumn. New Zealand played England, and England beat New Zealand by 60 points. And then New Zealand are able to win the World Cup final. So there's not that follow-on, and if you do think that, then it's very dangerous, and I think we've got enough experience in our leadership group and our coaching group not to get false confidence.
そういうふうには考えないです。今回のゲームっていうのはあくまでも今回のゲームとして見るものであって、そのチームもそれぞれのチームごとにその対戦相手によってストラテジーが違えばそのチームそのものも違うわけですよね。でワールドカップのファイナルってそうなんですけども、ニュージーランドとイングランドの60ポイントで勝ったってありましたけども、それもやはり一個の単体のゲームとして考えていて、逆にその勝ったからといって自信を持ってしまうというのは危険な考え方じゃないかなというふうに思いますけれども。
Thank you very much. We will end the press conference there. Thank you for joining us, everyone, today.